Yo, what's up, guys? This is JoeCrush, and as you can tell by the thumbnail, asking HARADA for a bunch of different gifts here, a bunch of different goodies. I think we have about a total of like 23 different wishes on here on our wish list. So let's go down to the first one. This one, number one, is down back 111 improvements. So they kind of neutered the old full crouch down back 1 and the down back 1 series. They changed it entirely. And don't get me wrong, it's great and everything, but yeah, I mean, I really wish we could get a little bit more out of here. Like, it's really hard breaking up people, opening up people just off a single down back ones. Like, and you do the extensions, there's just mids they block into losing your turn or risking, you know, not that. So I don't know. Like, I feel like we could make this a little bit better by either making the first hit natural counter hit. Right now it's not, you know, you just lose your turn. Like the first 2 hits natural counter hit combo. Or would also be really, really sick is if the second hit guaranteed the third hit on counter hit. That way when you catch people trying to press on the second hit, you can get an extension. Of course, this would be godlike at the wall. And the neutral is still pretty great. And I feel like it's kind of rewarding a good risk because, I mean, negative 14 is a lot, you know. Negative 14 is launched by a lot of the cast. It's pretty much generic heat engager in this game too. So you just risk so much going for that last hit, you know, just out of a whim, just catching and pressing. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like they need to even out the reward there a little bit. So I'll be it for number 1. Number 2, bring back 10 frame Tombstone. And the reason why I say this is because the only character in the game I know of right now that has a 10 frame throw is King, the 10 framer giant swing. He's very unique in that regard. In Tekken 7, we used to also have the 10 frame Tombstone, a 10 frame grab. And in this game, they nerfed it. I mean, this used to be a classic frame trap. But now with, you know, it being only +1 into 11 frame, a jab will interrupt me. So if I'm playing in the mirror, a Jack-4-2 will counter hit me. No bueno. I don't like it. And my justification for this is like King can do it all. I mean, where's the fairness? King has like a great armor, if not on par or better with Jack. I mean, so much more easier to cancel. The mid is a lot safer. Heat engager, safe, like tracks. I feel like his armor is so good, and if he can mog as well as Jack, like why don't I even it out a little? Why don't you even the playing field out a little bit? Especially with just how much other great tools he has, like his counter hit, back 1 2 12 frame, counter hit down 4 2 1 13 frame. Like, you know, none of my 12 frames are counter hitting. Like I'm pretty even and pretty fair. Like, so I mean, I just would like my 10 frame Tombstone back por favor, please, HARADA. Oh, all right, number 3, make Yamaha 1+2 throw unbreakable. And so this is asking for, you know, a big change to Yamaha because, you know, without heat, Yamaha is really not that scary. I mean, the most you get for them blocking is the chip. You get that chip. I mean, and plus frames, but like it's a high you could duck and launch, and it happens way too often. So many times throughout the season, we've seen so many Jack players fall because, you know, they get one good read on ducking it, and you're pretty much dead. Your half-life, you know, into a wall, into Oki, into like heat mix-ups, and all for what? Like 9 chip +4. And we definitely need something better. I want to be like more like Reina, so I want something to threaten. So if I could have this unbreakable right now, it does a lot of damage. Yeah, 36 + 9, 45. Just reduce the damage to 30 to 25 and make it unbreakable. I feel like that would be fair, you know. Definitely just need some way to open them up in Yamaha without heat, just like Reina has, you know. And you see a lot of success with Reina. I mean, can we get a little bit of that success, por favor, you know? All right, number 4. This is the kind of the same problem we have with opening people up without heat. New low out of Yamaha. Basically Debug. Give me Debug. Like, you know how sick it would be to see Debug out of this stance? Like, especially if you mix it up with a mid, you know? Like the mid low Debug out of Yamaha was gonna go so hard. You know, either or would be great. And the caveat I hear is like, okay, so, you know, in regular speed without heat, you could just have it like 24 frames, like how it was in Tekken 7. But if I get a gamma charge, so say I parry and I get a gamma charge, let me show you how that looks right now. Standing block. How would I make this man attack me? I guess we'll just do punish, yep. But yeah, I mean, right now, you know, if I parry something, I get powered up properties. If I get the Gamma Howl 2 guard break, you know, we get the Gamma Howl 1. Whoops. And that's great and all, but you know, I would like to have like that quick low debug out of that for another powered up stance, powered up move in his Gamma Howl without a Gamma Charge. That'd be really cool to me. So that would be it for number 4. For number 5, this is to kind of get more reward on the guard break. Oh, I didn't mean that. So right now we get plus 11, and that's pretty much all we get. 19 damage into plus 5, and they even get pushed back a good amount. So I mean, you know, that's decent. But like with the pushback, it's really hard to enforce any mix-ups. You know, they could sidestep out of plus 5 decently. So I mean, just 19 damage for the high again. It's like, okay, I mean, it's decent, but you know, one thing that would make this a lot better without increasing the frames or the damage or anything like that, would just be able, let me loop this. You know, 2-3, hold down into Gamma Howl, you do it again. I think that would be really awesome. So yeah, that's something I would also like. All right, number 6, new string, and this one is definitely to help out his neutral a ton. You know, basically, I just want to even out the playing field with some of the OP characters like Jin, and I just thought, what better way to, you know, even it out than basically if Jack a 2-1-4. So basically, you do 2-1, and the third hit would be this move right here. You know, right now we have a couple of different options. We have the high, we have the punishable mid, and both these are super risky. You know, the mid is minus 12, very steppable, and the high is a super long high. You could also step as well. So some characters can even option select this, but it's just super fake pressure, and I would just like something more real. So, you know, a 2-1 into a tracking 4, I think that'd be sick. You know, especially if you let me keep the counter hit properties, you can get the grab or heating gauge. You know, Jin pretty much gets a knockdown into guaranteed unscaled. So I feel like that would, you know, not be too crazy out the realm of possibilities to give me that string. And let's move on here. Number 7. Ooh. Down back 2 counter hit launch buff. And you know, speaking of Jin, my mind was on Jin here. Jin down 2 is egregious, broken, carried. You know, it's a monster of a move. Minus 14, you know, crushes highs, decently fast, pseudo seeable, you know, if you ask some people. And counter hit launches, all that, you know what I'm saying? And I could just compare that to my down back 2, and the tracking is worse, the plus frames are worse, the pushback is worse, everything about it. Even on counter hit, it doesn't launch. I get the blue upper. That's awesome, you know, but just nowhere near Jin's down 2. So I mean, if you could make this counter hit launch, I would even it out. I mean, I would accept that risk, you know what I'm saying? Especially if I went for that counter hit to duck a high, and I wanted to get a juicy counter hit launch for a high crushing. Like, I'm more willing to be, you know, launch punished trying to go for that. I feel like it's more fair. Either that or keep the same properties, you know, just let me get blue upper on counter hit only. But make this minus 14. Right now, it's hella punishable. If you could just make this minus 14 instead of minus 18, like, bro, like, it'd be so much better. Just give me the Jin treatment, man. Like, give me one of the Jin things on down 2. Like, I'm not even asking for both because that's broken, right? You're gonna nerf that. Just give me one of them. That's all I want. So, por favor, HARADA, please buff down back 2. All right, let's go for number 8. Don't want to show you the next ones too early. All right, so this one is very huge on Gamma Howl. You know, a lot of the Gamma Howl transitions are very unique. We talked about earlier on stream, you know, you can get hit up to 11 frames here for blocking at +9, which is strange. Yet out of forward 1 at +4, you can block. You know, same thing with back 3-2. Back 3-2, you can't block whatsoever. Forward 3 can't block so whatsoever. And those, I mean, I kind of understand. They have extensions. They have, you know, mix-ups, especially forward 3. But up forward 3 is just like strange how you literally cannot block whatsoever and you're locked into the stance. So you have to commit. You're forced to go into the vortex, which just incurs a lot of risk. I wish it was like forward 1 where we could choose not to commit, and that way it becomes much more spammable, you know. I mean, it does decent damage. I'm pretty sure it's all just chip, you know, 8 damage. I feel like that's not a good enough reward for me to get risks dying in Gamma Howl stance all the time, you know. So yeah, I'd definitely like to be able to block out of this, just to use it more as a low poke. I feel like that would make me use it a lot more. So that's to be it for up 4-3. Please let me block out of it. Right now, you're locked into the stance and you can get hit. You have to press something. That's very, very bad. I do not like it. For number 9, we have 1+2 lower hitbox. So 1+2 is one of our few tracking moves. It's mid, you have to commit to. You have to throw out both hits. -13, and that's great. And they've been working with this move a lot. They used to be mid-high. Now it's mid-mid. It has a decent jab crush properties, although it's not consistent. It's one of the most inconsistent high crush properties in the game. And so many times during a step, even like with just Lily stepping me, like they just naturally mid crush. It gets mid crush so much that the high is so the mid is so high. But I really like to get a lowered hitbox on that, increased hitbox, so that way, you know, it actually tracks more. I can actually rely on it more as a mid, especially since you just have to throw it out, you know, get -13s. Definitely like to see that little bit of buff there, just to the hitbox. All right, number 10, increased tracking on first hit of Seed Planter. So Seed Planter gets stepped pretty easily. We'll make them sidestep right. Yeah, I mean, that first hit can whiff a lot. And then I think I even had one of the homies send in some clips on how the first hit would just whiff in their face every now and then, just because of how bad the tracking on the first hit is. And yeah, that's kind of a common way people will just sidestep that way, react to the second hit, block. And I feel like, you know, for a low where you die, this is literally -70. I feel like I should at least be able to land it more if I'm going for such a huge risk, you know. Especially if you have to be up close, like even at tip range, it'll whiff, you know. There's so much, like right there, there's so much risk incurred with this move. I would just like a better outcome, you know, generally when I'm using such a risky move. So I would definitely like to see increased tracking on the first hit. All right, next we got number 11, Justice for down back 1. Now this has been a huge nerf that was nerfed to the core of Jack players and made a lot of Jack players unhappy, and it's one of the reasons why they say he's so bad now. Is down back 1 got neutered. Only +1, down to 13 damage from 15 damage in Tekken 7. It was +3 in Tekken 7. That was super, super good. Thank you for the follow. It was pretty decent. You know, it set up pretty good frame traps for Rising 4. It set up good tracking on Rising 2. You can still play that mind game. I mean, you basically have to play that mind game now, full crouch down where you get +3. So, I mean, I just want to see it get buffed somehow and give me more damage, like make it back to like 15 points. Even 14 points is fine, you know? What do you call it? Even 14 points is fine. Increase the plus frames, like +2, +3, please, so I could play a decent mix-up from here. I mean, I could actually take my turn. +1 in crouch is like so bad. Easily steppable, easily beatable. Very, very like, you know, cornered options. You only got so many options out of crouch. At least give me my plus frames, please. So yeah, just restore the power of down back 1, por favor. Then number 12. That Yamaha 1 reduced to -6 and increase the speed to 20 to 21 frames. And this is just to make Yamaha 1 even better. They did buff it last season for making it -10 to -9, which that is great. But this stance struggles a lot. People are very easily able to like sidestep block and option select this option. I don't know if the bot will be able to sidestep block, but oop. Yeah, the bot doesn't sidestep block, but a real person is able to step really quick, avoid a bunch of options, and they'd be able to block that mid within, you know, the 22 frames. So I just want to put a stop to that, make our mid that tracks actually work. You know, it's super big chance to counter hit me. I'm just there standing for a long time. My full body's exposed, trying to get this mid out. And yeah, I just definitely want a better risk reward on there. So, you know, that way also at -6, I mean, I don't exactly lose my turn. We could do the Gamma 6, the Gamma Charge mix-ups where you can, you know, armor the 13 frames and up, and the 12 frames and below you can duck or try to counterplay some other way. I just feel like -9 for a move that never even hits in the first place is really bad. This move is really bad. Yeah, I definitely like to see improvements on it. All right, number 13, restore down 4-2 tracking and also make down 4-2 -13. So I've really walked away from using down 4-2 a lot. It's a shell of its former self, just like a lot of other core Jack moves. You know, down back 1, neutered, full crouch down back 1, neutered, all of that. And down forward 2 is just another one. Forward 1 also neutered. This move is stepped to, you know, my right, the opponent's left, way more than it should have. In Tekken 7, it was hard tracking to the side. That was part of the mind game. I mean, you're supposed to step me that way to avoid down back 1, to avoid forward 1. But if I get the read, that's part of the counterplay. You step. I mean, I'm not sure if the bot will hit this. But I mean, so many times I see it get stepped, and I just don't realize, like, what's the point of this move anymore? Especially with, like, the reduced hitbox on it. Like, it's a shell of its former hitbox. The range on it is not nearly as good. So, I mean, I just want to see it buffed in some way. I mean, I don't know if you could restore the old down for 2 hitbox. That'd be great. And give me back my range and stuff. But with if it's going to be nerfed, this new nerfed hitbox, I'd like to see it be -13. You know, back then, you know, the tracking and the range on it was super great. I understand -14. But now, with no tracking, less range, like, I need -13. Like, it's just too punishable. They nerfed it so bad and kept the punishment, like, the same for it. And it's just one of the reasons why Jack's lackluster in this game. All right, number 14. Forward 3, increase speed by 2 frames. So this move, I mean, it's gotten some love. You can crouch out of it. It's a counter hit launcher now. But you're still just, like, up, fully standing for 26 to 27 frames. Super easy to be able to get counter hit. On Oki, when I want to use it as a stomp, it's so slow. Get up kicks beat me. And if I just do it really quick, try to beat a get up kick, like, tech rolls will evade, and I'll just get sidestepped and punished. It's super linear. And I mean, I'm not necessarily asking to increase the tracking or the damage or anything like that. I just want to get a little bit improvement on the speed. I mean, 26, 27 is so slow. I don't really know if you could really use that in a high-level match. I'd just like to see an improvement in the speed about that one. Let's go to number 15 now. So this one is huge, man. In Tekken 7, this grab right here, it was a different grab. He used to, instead of drilling you, he would just smack his 2 arms in your face, and he used to break the floor. And you only really get to saw that on Forgotten Realm because that was the only stage with floor breaks. And I really just wish that it kept its floor breaking properties. I want it restored because this would be so useful in this game with all the different floor breaks in it. I mean, it's a pseudo like move anyways. I mean, high level pros, they can react to 23 frames. They can, you know, outrange it. They can sidestep it. They can duck in time. They can react to it. You know, like high level, like Ninja Killer. Ninja Killer was reacted to it every time. So I just want that little bit of reward extra when I do land it, you know, in the correct times. So por favor, HARADA, please let me get my floor break properties back. It was super good in Tekken 7, and I really wish it stayed the same. Oh. What was that wall combo United up against Peeling? I need to steal that. I don't remember. We'll go back after the vid. And number 16, forward knockdown restored. So I wanted to apply this to 1-1 as well, but I mean, I feel like as a 12 frame punish, that might be too OP. Even in Tekken 7, 1-1 didn't knock down, just forward 1. But yeah, I mean, just give us some more reward on here. I mean, it doesn't even have to. I mean, once someone said in chat, like, you know, it could just be like forward 1 solo, just kind of like, you know, if you want to throw it out by itself into a counter hit knockdown, you can get the guaranteed follow up. Still go for the hard blue upper. But you know, if you go into Gamma How, they could keep the same properties. So you could do that, or just, you know, give it to me no matter what. You know, just forward on knockdown, on hit, or on block. That way, just make it actually worth it again. Because, you know, it's still the same move, super steppable. I mean, decently fast at 15, but I could use some love. I mean, definitely restore old Jack power back, just in one of these different ways, you know. Go to number 17. Down forward 1-1, restore tracking on second hit. Can option select both extensions. So down forward 1-1 is also a shell of its former self. It used to be able to step this really well, and now both options are super steppable. Like Kazuya right there is option selecting me with both hits. Try the side step right. Yeah, that first hit whiffs. And right here, even, I mean, Kazuya can't step it, but so many characters can step it that way. and it just makes the string super unreliable, and you can't really enforce your pressure anymore. You even made it -11 instead of 10. So I'm not even asking to get my -10 back. I'm just asking for, you know, let me get the lockdown on this so I can actually land the string. Right now it's just too much, you know, ability to counter it with option selecting, and it makes it really bad. So I definitely want to see an improvement on that. Let's go to number 18. So this one's one of my personal favorites. I love spamming back 1+2. It just really sucks that it's so punishable. And some characters can consistently punish it like all day, every day. So I'm not even asking for you to make it not launch punishable, especially like up close, like here. Like, of course, you should be punished in this range. But more so like at this range, at tip range, you should be rewarded for landing it at the precise range. So, I mean, if some characters might still be able to option select, like Kuma, he might still be able to down 4-2 on you every time. But you just make it more consistent across the board of getting rewarded, hitting that at tip range. Right now, -19, it opens them up to all different kinds of slower launch punish options that reach pretty far. And yeah, I just definitely like to see an improvement on that. I mean, you know, I'm not even asking to be not launch punishable, just harder to launch. All right, then we go to number 19, full crouch, 4-2-4 extra tracking. So this is like a rare move and not a lot of people use. And I want it to be good, but like there's nothing special about it on hit or on counter hit. You know, it's kind of slow. You have to do it from crouch, and it's not even that great of tracking. And I could see it as a good, you know, full crouch low mix, but I mean, it's just not as reliable as that one. I definitely like to see just improvement so I could able to mix with that effectively more. Just increase the tracking here so that way I know I don't get stepped all day. Next, we have, oh, I skipped 20. Well, let me go ahead and add number 20. Numero 20. So this one is restore, full crouch, down forward, or full crouch, forward, 1, 2, 1. So this used to be a string in Tekken 7 that they just straight out took out the game. The only one we have now is the full crouch down forward 2, right? And it's slower. It's 17 frames. In Tekken 8, the full crouch forward one was 16 frames. It just started with the left punch instead of the second punch. And so it really sucks that they took out the better version of this string and left me with the worst version. I didn't even really use a worse version, you know? And I mean, I called it the maracas. It was one of my signature moves in Tekken 7. And I just like to see it back. That way we could also mix on the third hit. Because as of right now, there's no mixing on the third hit. Before in 7, I had both strings to where, you know, on the forward 1-2-1, you could mix it all with the mid or the low or the high on the third hit. In this game, we only have the full crouch down forward 2, so we can only mix on the second hit. You know, mid high, mid low, and it just added to the mixable properties from crouch. And I just would like to see that move, that string restored. I can't believe they just took off the entire string. You know, like it's crazy, and they left me with a worse one version. And not only that, they changed this a lot, but I mean, just please give it back, restore, please. Alrighty, let's go back to 21. Up forward 2 counter hit launcher. So this one, I was thinking more like we need a hop kick. We need some kind of aggressive tool. And I don't want to go as far to say just give me a generic hop kick because that would be too broken, right? Just make my down forward 2 -13. And that's pretty much the same. That'd be as good for me. I was thinking up forward 2. I mean, you know, right now you just get pretty much a seed plant here. I would like to see this. I mean, you're in the air. You have to be pretty close. I mean, it doesn't even have that great of the range. I would like to see counter hit launch properties on this just to improve its utility. Right now, I don't even see a lot of Jack players use it. I don't really use it a lot. So, I mean, I just want to see more utility out this move. I feel like it's not good enough right now. It's not really in the meta of my moves. I could put it in there, but I just need more, you know. So that's going to be it for number 21. Go down to number 22. Now, this one is one that, like, pretty much every Jack player and their mama have been asking for. And that's restore debug to 23 to 24 frames. I mean, chat, like, what is this, man? 34 frames, chat. Like, what are we doing, man? 29 frames for the, you know, technical input. Like, what were they thinking? It's not even, there's no property change. It's not a counter hit launch. You know, people were already reacting when it was 24 frames. And now at 29, you know, even like, you know, a 5-year-old could react to this in time. Like, it's so bad. Yeah, and it's super launch punishable. Like, literally nothing changed about this move besides that it's uber slow. So I think they intentionally just neutered this move so we'd stop using it. One of the classics. I mean, you go to the Tekken tournaments and you hear about Jack players, and one of the main moves people get hyped to see is Debug. So why did they think that was a good move to just eradicate Debug? One of the fan favorite tools. I don't know, man. Just give it back, dude. I'm not even asking to buff it any further than that. Just give it back, please, HARADA. I mean, wish. That's my number one of my number wishes. Please give me back Debug, man. All right, number 23. I think this is the last one. We're here at the end, the finish line. Only thing you get the wall standing forward, down 4-3-4. Yeah, but that was even in Tekken 7 too. That's not even special to Tekken 8. Like, literally nothing has changed besides that. You could do that in Tekken 8 7 as well. All right, now this one's a bit of going back to, you know, getting more reward of Gamahao. So earlier I talked about 2-3 into Gamahao. If we don't get that, I'll be cool with making Gamahao 2 plus 12. Well, let me make him blocking. That way we can get 1-1 and we can kind of just loop it overs and overs. You know, right now Shaheen has that with guard break into 4-2-3 into plus 20. He can just guard break again. So, I mean, let's get a little bit of love like that. You know, let's even out the playing fields with some of the top tiers. Let me get that either 2-3 Gamahao, or let me get that 12 frame. Because right now, I mean, you know, you only get 19 damage, right? So scaled, I mean, 1-1, you know, will do a bit more. I'm not exactly sure how much more, but I mean, you'd give me a little bit more damage. I mean, 2-3 here, just make him get hit. 2-3 here, 28, 32. So honestly, bro, you'd probably only get like 1 or 2 more points. So it's not even that big of a deal. Like, you know, instead now I would get my +8 in crouch into Gamahao. But I mean, you know, is it really asking for that much? I'm not gonna ask further than that, because 13 I can shoulder, and I get that would be broken. Just raw, you know. I mean, Lord knows that Heihachi has a guard break into 1-1-2, right? I mean, Heihachi can have that, right? At least let me get plus 12 here, HARADA. At least let me get plus 12 here. Like, please, man. Please, man. I need a little something out of this, man. 2-3 is not cutting it. You know, they get pushed back, +5, 19 damage for a duckable high that uses all my meter. I don't like it, man. Give me something more. But yeah, that's gonna be it. We got 23 different things here on the wish list. And I don't really expect all of them to be in the game, of course. But these are a bunch of ideas, a bunch of different concoctions that I've cooked up with the chat and everything. You can definitely let me know in the chat on the YouTube comments. You know, what's your number 24? What's your number 25? Hopefully someone in the balance team sees this, or it gets put out, you know, into the consciousness of the JACK-8 moggers out there to ask for it too. So yeah, hopefully we get one of these, man. And you know, lo and behold, we get one, if not a few of these. I'm gonna be so happy. I'm gonna be so glad they're actually listening. I'm so glad that our boy's gonna be able to mog even harder. You know, get a little up the tier list. But yeah, that's gonna be it. Hopefully you guys enjoy the wish list. Let's hope we get some of these in season 2, even out the playing fields. And yeah, boys, let's keep mogging. Catch y'all boys next time. Peace out.